In this video, we're going to cover expressions, Scala expressions, and also Scala conditionals. On the left-hand side, we have the bash terminal, which I'm going to use to execute the code that I will write on the right-hand side. So what we're going to do is first cover the println statement and different ways that that can be used. Then we're going to cover expressions, and finally we're going to cover conditionals because conditionals actually use expressions. So we're using this building block approach. So the first thing we'll cover right here is just the standard println statement. Println statement, hi. So we've covered this in other videos, and we can see that. Let's turn off my cell phone really quick. We can execute that, and we can see that hi is printed. Alright, so we've seen that before. What we can do here is we can actually separate this to be a multi-line statement, and this will be useful in our other examples. Let me actually set toggle mode. Okay. So let me make sure this is saved. We can see that this will still work when it's a multi-line statement. So now let's move on and let's look at our first expression. So let's put the string by in an expression. So here we can see that this code that's enclosed in these brackets right here is an expression. In this case, the expression just contains a string. Expressions return a single value. In this case, the string by will be returned by the expression, and that will be printed. So we can look over here, and we can see that by is printed. Expressions can also be split on multiple lines, so we can do this, and that'll still work. Okay, so that covers some of the logistics. Now we can kind of move into a more real example. So let's set the variable x equal to 10, and then let's do x times 5. So now in this example, we have our expression here in the highlighted portion. In the first line of the expression, we're assigning the variable x equal to the value 10. In the last line of the expression, we are multiplying 10 by 5. So the way expressions work is that the last statement in an expression is what will be executed. In this case, the last statement is x times 5. So let's see what is returned. It is 50, which is, again, the last statement is the expression, is what's returned. We could also write this on a single line like this. When multiple statements are written on a single line, they need to be separated with a semicolon. And this should return 50 as well. And it works. Great. So let's look at an example that involves a little string interpolation, which is something we haven't covered yet. So let's make this a multi-line thing again. Okay, so let's set the variable first equal to the string Lionel. And then let's set this, use some string interpolation, first messy. Alright. So here, again, the expression is this portion of the code. Here we're setting the variable first equal to the string Lionel. And here we're using string interpolation. So when the S is used before the double quotes, that indicates string interpolation. The $sign means that this should be interpreted as a variable, and then this portion is not interpreted as a variable because it's not preceded by a $sign. If this is executed, we can see that the string Lionel Messi is printed, which is what we expected. So that's an example of expressions with strings. Let's use another example to dig into the variable scope of expressions. Let's put a variable up here called cold, var cold, equals ice. And let's do cold cream. Okay, so the question now is that variable cold, which is assigned to the value ice, is that accessible within the expression? And the answer is yes. Variables that are defined outside of expressions are available within the expression. So again, this is string interpolation. So this $sign indicates that this should be treated as a variable, and then this is cream portion is treated as a regular string. So if we go over here, we can see that ice cream is returned. Okay, so I feel like I've been babbling on about expressions for a while. I don't want to make this video too long. So I'm going to take a pause here, and I'll start up another video for conditionals.